Hello there, I'm Nadia Azmi and you're watching Nightline. Here are the top stories. Malaysia-China ties built on mutual respect and understanding. And engine malfunction forced flight MH199 into emergency landing in Hyderabad. Good morning. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim on Thursday highlighted the friendly and respectful attitude of the Chinese leadership, emphasizing the deep understanding of cultural differences during his recent interactions with China's Premier Li Qiang. The Prime Minister also addressed the skepticism often expressed by international observers, particularly from Western countries, about the enhanced bilateral relationship between Malaysia and China. Speaking during a Malaysia-China business community luncheon with the Chinese Premier, Anwar said critics had frequently questioned whether such a comprehensive strategic partnership would be detrimental towards a smaller nation such as Malaysia.
I've given them assurances based on historical antecedents from the time of the emperors in China and the sultans in Malacca. That did not convince them. But I think this visit by Premier Li Qiang, my esteemed friend, which I greatly respect, has proven the case. We have hours of discussions. Nothing seemed to be arrogant, condescending, or ultimatum.
Referring to the broader scope of Malaysia-China cooperation, Anwar also highlighted areas of mutual interest such as the future of education, technical and vocational education and training, TVET, artificial intelligence, AI, as well as digital advancement. He also reiterated the mutual benefits of learning from each other and working together to improve the quality of life for the people in both countries, as well as the importance of understanding and appreciating cultural and religious differences.
We in Malaysia, having a neutral stance, have the resolve to work with all countries, and with China, we see Premier Li Qiang, we see you as a friend that would work together with us, collaborate, and prove to the world that this unity, this friendship is meaningful.
Li arrived in Malaysia for an official 3-day visit on Tuesday in the third and last leg of his 8-day tour that has taken him to New Zealand and Australia. Li's visit coincides with the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Malaysia and China, following the signing of the joint communique between second Prime Minister Tun Abdul Razak Hussein and then Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai on May 31, 1974. In the joint statement, both leaders also expressed grave concern over the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and emphasized the need to protect civilians according to international law. The two sides reaffirmed the right of the Palestinian people to self-determination, including the right to their independent state of Palestine. In addition, Malaysia and China also touched on the importance of maintaining peace, security and stability in the South China Sea. Both countries agreed to resolve disputes by peaceful means through friendly consultations and negotiations in line with the recognized international law, including the United Nations Convention 1982 on the Law of the Sea. The statement read that the two sides will launch the bilateral dialogue on the management of maritime issues as early as possible to foster maritime dialogue and cooperation. In the statement, the leaders also emphasized their mutual opposition to terrorism and commitment to strengthening law enforcement and anti-terrorism cooperation. Both leaders also aim to jointly address cross-border crime and contribute to regional peace and stability. China also welcomed Malaysia taking on the role of country coordinator for ASEAN-China dialogue relations in 2024 and firmly supports Malaysia in assuming the chairmanship of ASEAN in 2025. Meanwhile, Malaysia and China have voiced support for the ongoing efforts on visa exemption to promote friendly relations. In a joint statement between the two countries released on Thursday, China agreed to extend the facility until the end of 2025, and to reciprocate, Malaysia would extend the visa exemption until the end of 2026. Both leaders welcome the keen interest to continue consultations and discussions on mutual visa exemption to facilitate the entry of the citizens of Malaysia and China. On May 31st, it was reported that China had agreed to extend visa exemption for Malaysian tourists from 15 to 30 days. The statement said both sides also agreed to enhance education cooperation to a new level and strengthen cooperation on vocational education, joint scientific research and digital education. Malaysia also welcomed China's application to join the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP). Both countries will also continue to promote the high-quality implementation of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (RCEP), as well as expedite and finalize the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area 3.0 agreement negotiations as soon as possible. Malaysia Airlines Berhad MAB has confirmed that one of its flights experienced engine issues following takeoff. In a statement on Thursday, MAB said that flight MH199 from Hyderabad to Kuala Lumpur on June 20th returned to Hyderabad due to an issue with one of its engines during the climb after takeoff. It stated the aircraft safely landed at Rajiv Gandhi International Airport at 3:21 a.m. local time and all passengers and crew disembarked safely. The affected passengers were then reallocated to other flights for their continued journey. MAB also noted that the aircraft was grounded for further inspection, stating that safety remains of utmost importance to MAB. All government schools, including full boarding schools, must follow the recently introduced Dual Language Program (DLP) guidelines. Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq said her ministry had requested that every school strictly follow and refer to the guidelines provided.
Dan tidak ada masalah setakat ini. Sekolah-sekolah yang ada masalah dengan pelaksanaan garis panduan itu, kita akan turun dan bantu sekolah tersebut untuk melaksanakan garis panduan tersebut.
Maksudnya ada flexibility lah buat.
Dia kena patuh garis panduan tersebut. Kita akan bantu. Ya? Alright.
So yang sekolah asrama penuh yang dikatakan ada advantage.
Tak ada. Garis panduan itu semua terpakai untuk semua sekolah.
Fadlina spoke to the media after launching the Sekolah Pengajar and Sahabat Bahasa program at SK Sungai Bakap, Pulau Pinang. The minister was responding to the recent claim that elite schools such as Malay College Kuala Kangsar and Tunku Kursia College were exempted from the new rule. The program is part of the ministry's efforts in improving and elevating Bahasa Malaysia and English among the education diaspora in the country. The program includes cultural activities, critical reading, classroom magazines and others. The Health Ministry will seek further information from the World Health Organization (WHO) regarding a deadly flesh-eating bacteria infection that is on the rise in Japan. Its Minister, Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad, said obtaining the input is crucial for the country before deciding on preventive measures to protect Malaysia from the outbreak. As of June 9th, Japan's National Institute of Infectious Diseases said the country had seen 1,019 preliminary cases of the infection known as streptococcal toxic shock syndrome or STSS since the beginning of this year. Dr. Zulkifli, however, said as of now, cases of the infection have not reached the Health Ministry's Crisis Preparedness and Response Centre.
Kita belum dapat apa-apa maklumat perkembangan. Mungkin juga kita memerlukan input daripada WHO. Di situ adalah sangat mustahak. That's why this transnational platform of WHO, IHR yang kita bincangkan baru ini, pandemic preparedness, semua itu adalah mustahak. Jadi immediately kita ada mendapat heads up ataupun update, kita akan terusnya mengambil langkah-langkah kawalan.
Dr. Zulkifli was speaking to reporters after launching the MyBRP application system in Putrajaya. Also known as severe invasive streptococcal infection, STSS is a sudden onset disease primarily caused by group A streptococcus. STSS develops when the bacteria gains access to deep tissues and the bloodstream, which could be life-threatening. Initial symptoms typically include sore throat, fever, loss of appetite, diarrhea, vomiting, and other gastrointestinal issues, as well as septic symptoms like low blood pressure. The Office of Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Johari Abdul has confirmed receiving a notice on the vacancies of 6 parliamentary seats involving Jeli, Gua Musang, Bukit Gantang, Kuala Kangsar, Tanjung Karang and Labuan. Earlier, Bersatu Vice President Datuk Sri Ronald Kiandi said he had signed the notice in his capacity as Bersatu's whip. In a statement on Thursday, Kiandi said, according to Article 49A of the Federal Constitution, the Speaker must confirm there is an unexpected vacancy within 21 days of receiving the notice. A day earlier, Kelantan State Assembly Speaker Datuk Muhammad Ahmad Abdullah declared that the state's Nenggiri seat held by Azizi Abu Naim vacant after receiving a notice that Azizi's membership in Bersatu has been terminated, prompting the vacancy in accordance with the state laws. Muhammad Azizi, who is also Gua Musang MP, had lost his membership in Bersatu for failing to respond to an official letter requiring him to pledge his loyalty to the party by May 31st. Last week, Bersatu declared that he, along with 5 other MPs and a Selangor state lawmaker, were no longer members after they failed to respond to special letters requiring them to pledge their loyalty to the party by May 31st. Besides Muhammad Azizi, the other terminated elected reps are Bukit Gantang MP Syed Abu Hussein Syed Abu Fasal, Jeli MP Zahari Kecik, Kuala Kangsar MP Iskandar Zulkarnain Abdul Khalid, Labuan MP Datuk Suhaili Abdul Rahman, Tanjung Karang MP Datuk Dr. Zulkaf Peri Hanafi and Selak Klang Assemblyman Datuk Abdul Rashid Asari. This comes after Bersatu successfully amended its constitution, where party members will automatically cease to be members if they go against the party's decisions, and its elected representatives must vacate their seats. A total of 73 individuals, including 22 children and 3 disabled persons, were rescued nationwide in a large-scale operation against human trafficking syndicates. Bukit Aman's Deputy Criminal Investigation Department Director, Deputy Commissioner Fadil Marsus said 113 suspected human traffickers were also detained in the operation, which was conducted simultaneously nationwide. The operation, codenamed Ops Megapintas, carried out on June 12, was conducted by the Bukit Aman CID's Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants Atipsom Division D3, along with the other departments within the police force and other enforcement agencies, including the Immigration Department.
Mangsa-mangsa yang diselamatkan ini terdiri daripada 25 lelaki, 26 perempuan dan 22 kanak-kanak warga negara tempatan Filipina, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Kamboja, Myanmar dan Thailand. Dan yang menariknya, dalam operasi ini juga telah menyelamatkan 3 OKU yang terlibat dalam aktiviti buruh paksa.
He was speaking during a press conference in Bukit Aman on Thursday. He added that the focus of the operation was to identify victims of human trafficking and forced labour based on the National Guideline on Human Trafficking Indicators 2.0. Of the 3 persons with disabilities who were rescued in the operations, DCP Fadil said they consisted of a local woman and 2 Bangladeshi men. The woman was found to have been a victim of sex exploitation, while the men were used by a beggar syndicate. Investigation is being carried out under various laws, including Section 12 and Section 14 of the Atipsom Act 2007 and the Immigration Act. Malaysia's trade recorded a double-digit growth in May, up 10.3% to 246.3 billion ringgit, the highest value recorded since October 2022. The Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry said this had marked the 5th consecutive month of year-on-year expansion. Exports expanded 7.3% to 128 billion ringgit, while imports grew 13.8% to 118 billion ringgit. This results in a trade surplus of 10 billion ringgit and the 49th consecutive month of surplus since May 2020. The growth in exports was contributed mainly by strong exports of electrical and electronic products, palm oil and palm oil-based agriculture products, and manufacturers of metal, optical and scientific equipment, as well as iron and steel products. Dozens dead in India after consuming tainted liquor. News from the foreign front when we return.
Pantas, I can see your voice, Malaysia. Kita mempersilakan Salif Zero.
Saya rasa Abang Syarif penyamar. Nari tu dah betul lah tu.
Kasihmu buat kau tersenyum. Tidak mungkin kau kepala dan tertekan sampai-sampai aku sakit badan.
Kunci perubahan dan permulaan baharu dalam hidup bermula dengan keinsafan. Air mata malaikat maut 7 Jun. Kiswah Kaabah 14 Jun. Tuli Karena meninggalkan Syalat Subuh 21 Jun. Surga untuk Isteriku 28 Jun. Sama-sama renungi di slot naluri Jun ini setiap Jumaat 3 petang di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. The foreign news. 2 polls had found the UK's Labour Party was set to win a record-breaking number of seats in the upcoming general elections and the incumbent Conservatives due to a historic drubbing. The latest pair of nationwide surveys released by YouGov and Savanta on Wednesday showed Labour set to win either 425 or 516 out of 650 seats. Either of the results would be the current opposition party's best ever return of MPs in a general election. In the meantime, the Savanta survey forecasts 3/4 of Rishi Sunak's cabinet losing their seats, while the YouGov survey predicted Sunak's party would win in just 108 constituencies. The twin polls also showed that Sunak is predicted to become the first sitting Prime Minister ever to lose their seat at a general election, as support for the Tories, who have been in power since 2010, plummeted to unprecedented lows, with one estimating they would win just 53 seats. In India, at least 36 people died and over 60 were still being treated in hospitals after consuming tainted liquor in the southern state of Tamil Nadu. Officials on Thursday confirmed that the deaths caused by consuming alcohol tainted with methanol, seeing the number of patients in critical condition kept changing, thus the death toll could rise. The incident reportedly occurred in the Kallakurichi district, where more than 100 people suffering from vomiting, stomachache and diarrhea were admitted to hospitals. Following the incident, police have arrested one person for selling illicit liquor and seized 200 litres of the methanol-mixed alcoholic drink. Meanwhile, the state government in a statement said it had suspended at least 10 officials, including the district's collector and police chief. Deaths from illegally brewed alcohol are common in India, where the poor cannot afford licensed brands from government-run shops. Also in India, at least 5 people have died due to heat stroke in New Delhi and nearly 14 others died in the city of Noida over the past 72 hours, forcing the federal government to issue an advisory to government hospitals on Thursday to prioritise heat stroke patients' treatment. It was reported that more than 60 patients suffering from heat stroke were admitted at various hospitals. Most of them were said to be labourers or those aged above 65 years. According to officials at the Safdarjung Hospital, 33 patients were admitted for suffering from heat-related illnesses. Of them, 13 died in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, the Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital received 22 patients in the last 24 hours, out of which 4 have died. Delhi and nearby areas have been witnessing intense heatwave conditions over the past few days, with the mercury hovering around 45 degrees Celsius during daytime. On another heat-related matter, the death toll during this year's Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia climbed to over 1,000 as temperatures soared past 51 degrees Celsius. The extreme heat has proved fatal for hundreds, as the annual pilgrimage has seen around 10 countries report a total of 1,081 deaths. Fatalities have been confirmed by several countries, including India, Malaysia, Pakistan, Jordan, Indonesia, Iran, Senegal and Tunisia, with Egypt alone registering 307 deaths and another 118 missing. Witnesses said bodies lay on the side of the road near Mina, just outside Mecca, covered with a white ihram cloth until medical vehicles arrived. In accordance with the customs and agreements with the Saudi Arabian government, the bodies of pilgrims who died during the pilgrimage are not repatriated to their native place and will be buried in Saudi Arabia. Andy Murray forced to retire due to injury. Sports when we come back.
Tips mengubat hati terluka cara telefilm 10 malam di TV3 Jun ini.
Sama dia nak bercerai dengan you ke tak?
Sambut hari lahir insan tersayang.
Lagi berapa detik?
Menunaikan permintaan terakhir ibu.
Ibu daya ya.
Jangan ada benci.
Ayah ada apa-apa yang ayah tak berkenan dengan Syarif.
Sembuhkan hati yang terluka di telefilm TV3 setiap Jumaat 10 malam dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton. 5 sebab anda perlu menonton cerita Rama TV3 Jun ini. Pertama, ketabahan hidup bermadu.
Betul ke cara you ni?
Kedua, penyesalan tidak berpenghujung.
Mak.
Ketiga, niat yang disalah erti.
Manusia ke Allah?
Keempat, misteri sebuah kehilangan.
You suka Daniel kan?
Kelima, Cerita Rama TV3, satu destinasi untuk semua telefilm hebat kegemaran anda dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with sports. Tennis, the 2024 Queen's Club Championship. Former world number 1 Andy Murray was forced to withdraw from the tournament due to injury when battling Jordan Thompson in the second round on Wednesday. The 5-time winner at Queen's, who considered retiring in 2019 due to a hip injury, is hoping to win his third Wimbledon next month. However, fitness issues have plagued the 37-year-old and he was unable to continue the match due to back injury after Thompson took a 4-1 lead in the opening set. Thompson will face American Taylor Fritz in the next round. In another match, Sebastian Korda continued his impressive grass-court season by knocking out third-seeded Grigor Dimitrov at 6-4, 3-6, 7-5. The American's next opponent in the last 8 will be Rinky Hijikata, who defeated Italian Matteo Arnaldi 7-6, 7-6. Still on tennis, the 2024 Hall Open. Second seed and home favourite Alexander Zverev eased into the quarterfinals with a straight sets win over Italy's Lorenzo Sonego on Wednesday. The German, however, fought his tooth and nail to claim a 6-4, 7-6 victory over the Italian in a match that lasted for an hour and 43 minutes. World number 4 Zverev is set to face Frenchman Arthur Fields in the last 8. In another action, Zhang Zhizhen caused a major upset of the tournament when he edged out third-seeded Daniil Medvedev. The Chinese world number 42 took 2 hours and 7 minutes to stun the world number 5 Russian 6-3, 2-6, 7-6. Next up, Zhang will battle American Christopher Eubanks, who defeated Alexander Bublik 7-6, 4-6, 6-3. On to football, the 2024 Euro. Host Germany became the first team to qualify for the knockout phase of European Championship on Wednesday, thanks to a 2-0 win over Hungary. Germany's opening goal was delivered by Bayern Munich star Jamal Musiala, who smashed the ball into the net in the 22nd minute after captain Ilkay Gundogan battled to control a loose ball in the box. Julian Nagelsmann's side then doubled their lead in the 67th minute when Ilkay Gundogan swept home Maximilian Mittelstadt's pinpoint pass, dashing Hungary's hopes of producing a comeback. The victory ensures the host nation's passage to the last 16 and marks the first time Germany have won its opening 2 games at a World Cup or European Championship since Euro 2012. Bank withdrawal syndicate mastermind with Dato title remanded for 3 more days. The details after this short break.
Get ready, ladies. It's time to shatter the stereotype. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smiles. This talk show is all about you. Catch Women Talk every Saturdays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Stream also on Tonton.
Lagu Top 5 Music 39. Ketahuinya dalam Music 39 Ahad ini jam 12.20 tengah hari di TV3 dan stream secara langsung di aplikasi Tonton.
Betul.
Apa kau cakap tadi, Yen?
Nombor 3.
Nombor 3. Aku bertukar sebab dia ni bahaya. Bahaya. Tak boleh dipercayai.
Nightline continues. The remand order against a businessman with a Datuk title has been extended for 3 more days beginning Thursday to assist in investigation concerning the disappearance of over 24 million ringgit from several savings accounts. The suspect, believed to be the mastermind of the syndicate, is among 13 individuals who were detained in connection with the probe. The remand extension for the 43-year-old man was issued by Magistrate Stephanie Sharon Abi at the Kota Kinabalu Magistrates Court for investigation under Section 420 of the Penal Code concerning fraud. This was after the previous remand period, which began on June 17th, ended on Thursday. So far, the police have detained 13 individuals aged between 22 and 53 years old, suspected of being linked to the fraudulent bank transactions. One of the suspects was detained in Perlis, while 4 are employees of the bank in Kota Kinabalu. 11 suspects are under remand until this Friday, while 1 person has been released on police bail. Previously, Bukit Aman Police confirmed receiving 4 police reports on the case in Petaling Jaya earlier this month. The complainants reported suspicious cash withdrawals in Kota Kinabalu involving several fixed deposit accounts at the bank, totaling 24.2 million ringgit. The school van driver who was arrested after a crash that resulted in the death of a 5-year-old child in Johor has been released on police bail. Police are in the process of finalising the investigation papers to be submitted to the public prosecutor for court proceedings. Seri Alam District Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Suhaimi Ishak said the 50-year-old woman was released on Thursday after police recorded his statement. On Wednesday, it was reported that a preschooler died after being hit by a school van in front of a family's house along Jalan Surya in Bandar Seri Alam. The incident occurred when the van driver was dropping off the victim and her 6-year-old brother in front of their home. The driver, after seeing the victim's brother pass safely behind the vehicle, began to drive away, believing the girl was following her brother. Tragically, the driver unintentionally hit the girl as she crossed in front of the van. The driver immediately exited the van to check on the girl and informed her mother, who then rushed her to the Masai Health Clinic, where she was confirmed dead by a health officer. The case is being investigated under Section 41, Subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act for causing death due to reckless and dangerous driving. As Nightline draws to a close this time around, let's take a look as the 2024 World Intelligence Expo kicked off in China's Tianjin on Thursday. The 4-day expo aims to aggregate AI-related resources both nationwide and worldwide. With that, I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for tuning in and be safe.